Welcome to another installment of Toronto FC Touchline Talks, the Toronto FC definitive podcast. I am your host, Gareth Wheeler. We've had some great guests this season sharing their insights into their professional careers, what's going on at the club. And today, there's been a ton of buzz about today's guest. And it's a pleasure to actually sit down and be able to have a conversation with one of the more renowned and up-and-coming players who have come through the club in Toronto FC's history thus far. It's Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty, and he's joining me on this week's podcast. What's going on, Jahkeele? How are you?
Good. How are you? Just finished training, had some schoolwork, but we're here now.
Is that what a typical day in your life looks like? Training, school, chill? Is that kind of it?
Yeah, that's all about it. After training, I know after I run upstairs quick, get some school done, and then I have the rest of the day off.
That's crazy because you're among a number of young players playing for the club. How many of you are going to school and training and playing professionally all at the same time?
So currently it's only me, but early in the year and last year it was me, Ralph, and Jaden because we're all in high school, but they graduated, thankfully. So hopefully I'm up next and I can go.
It's funny. I want to talk Alphonso Davies a little bit later on and the Canadian men's national team. But I know Alphonso, a friend of mine worked for Vancouver Whitecaps. He made a promise to Alphonso's family that he'd make sure that Alphonso went on and finished his education. It didn't happen right away because obviously things kind of spiraled out of control. But is that a clear and present goal for you to finish off your education while here at Toronto FC?
For sure. Not only for me, I think to my family, it's important too. My parents, they say education comes with the soccer as well. So I have people at the club helping me with this. So I'm just thankful. So everything's getting done. I'm on time. So I don't think mine will be delayed. I think I'll finish on time.
Good stuff, man. That's great to hear. Do you have a favorite subject or course?
In school, obviously gym, but out of school, I don't have a favorite. They're just all normal.
All right. It's all part of the greater education. Well, congratulations on that. It must be so exciting for you as a young player to be receiving this opportunity. I want to congratulate you on making your first Toronto FC start this past week down in Miami. I know the result didn't go the team's way, but what was that experience like for you as a 17-year-old going out and getting your first start for Toronto FC?
It was amazing. I had my family down there. They actually traveled. So it was a proud moment. Ever since I was a kid, that's always a kid born in Toronto's dream, put on the TFC shirt. And to get my first start, it was just amazing. I've been patiently waiting. I've been learning from the older players, trying to just get all the experience, gain everything. So it was very proud for me and my family, but it's just the beginning. So I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, you made your debut. It was almost a year ago to this day. It was October 24th of last year. Do you feel like you've made a lot of progress over the course of that year? And if you have made progress, perhaps in what areas have you noticed maybe a difference in your own game or the way that you've matured?
I think our maturity level is, very big, just even away from football, the stuff I do off the field, the sleeping and eating, I think that's improved a lot. And on the field, I've just, over the past year, I've gained so much experience from the older players, and the wingers coming in like Sotaldo, Pozuelo, just looking at them, trying to learn from them. So I think from last year, I gained a lot of confidence myself as well. And I just trying to keep building each game and go into games with confidence. Maybe last year, I'd play a little safe, but I've been getting a lot of feedback, trust in your instinct. And I've just been trying to do that these past games. So it's been good.
You look comfortable out there. From a mentality perspective, it seems like you're going really down that right path. But there's a physical side of the game, right? That's not easy for young players joining a physical league with experienced players that are right in their prime. Do you feel like you're starting to grow into your body and that element of the game is starting to take care of itself?
Yeah, obviously, they want to be patient with me. So not in the gym every single day, but I think some of it's also on me, the way I eat, especially as a young kid. I could just have the mindset like, oh, I could eat whatever I want because I'm young. But I just try to, make sure I'm always hydrated, stick to the key things in eating. And then, they help me here few times a week at the gym. And so I think I'm going into my body pretty well.
Yeah, it looks like you're growing and filling out. Is that the case?
Yeah.
Do you feel it?
Yeah, I do. I think I could be a little stronger. So, on my own time, I'll do some core work or in the gym, my core, but I think I'm filling out pretty well.
Yeah. Do you feel that physicality on the field, and how much of a role does that play? Because when you're on the ball, you're a special talent. It looks like the play in the game almost slows down for you, but that physical element can provide a different type of challenge.
I don't really go into games, with the mindset that I'm smaller or I'm younger. With the physical side, I think if you know what you're gonna, I try to just think what I'm gonna do before I get the ball. So I'm ahead of the defender, so he can't get his body in front of me. And like some of the older players are just trying to teach me some little things, like when I'm running by side with them, using my arm, pushing them too. So I think just the little things that I'm trying to add is helping me a lot.
Now, what was the actual role that your manager Javier Perez had you playing down in Miami? It looked like you were playing a little bit more of a defensive role than we've typically seen you play. Was that the case? Are you comfortable playing in that role?
Obviously, when a manager tells you to play somewhere, if you could get on the field, you'll play it. So we were actually playing in a three back, and I was kind of a fullback. And then Jefferson picked up his injury, and I was kind of higher. But I like playing in the fullback, because I can run, So and the defensive side that comes with being a footballer. So I wouldn't say, I like it or I don't like it. I think you just have to have that as a footballer. So it's pretty good.
Well, it's wild to see wide players like yourself and how there's a little bit of versatility there. Your teammate Richie Larea, Canadians Tajon Buchanan, Alfonso Davies, they can play that wing back, but they can play that attacking role as well. Is that kind of where you might see your own game going, or do you prefer to stay further up the field?
Um, I prefer to stay further up the field, but like I said, I think with modern day football, versatile players are very key. You could play on the left side, the right side, you could play fullback, wingers. So I just think to try and add different positions to my game will only help me. So it's good for me, like you said, players like Alfonso, Tejan, they've seen wing, they've seen fullback. So for me, just trying to learn from them, and modern day football is getting like that. So I think it's been good for me.
The last couple of years must have been a whirlwind for you. You signed with Toronto FC at 15 years of age, the youngest player to sign in club history. You get called up to a Canada camp, the youngest player ever called in to a Canadian men's national team camp. You make your debut. It's COVID. You're living away from home. You're living in hotels. You're back and forth and everywhere in between. Where's your mental state at right now? Is your head spinning, or are you kind of just rolling with the punches here and taking every challenge as it comes?
You talked about like the youngest players. I didn't really try and focus on a lot of that stuff because obviously it's a proud moment for me. I always wanted to play for TFC, and for it to come so early, it's proud. Canadian national team, I'm proud to wear the jersey, but I don't really try and focus on the accomplishments and all that. It's nice to have them, but just the footballing side and the COVID, it's reality. I'm grateful that I got to experience such things at such a young age, so I feel like I'm a lot more matured now from the COVID. It was hard being away from my family for such a long time, but it added something to my game that I'll never forget, and that'll stick with me for the rest of my career. So I think it benefited me in a good way.
Yeah, I guess when you face that kind of adversity and you come through the other end, I guess that can give you a little bit of confidence over the way. And I'm sure you had plenty of time to bond with some of the more experienced players as well and learn from them over the course of the process.
For sure. We're actually down in Florida for a couple months. I got to know some things about my teammates that I never knew. I got closer with a lot of them, not only the young players. So for me to come out of my comfort zone, like you said, gave me some more confidence. So I think it was just good for all of us.
I'm Wheels, and we're chatting with Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty. When you say that, you learned a lot about some other teammates. Who are some of the leaders in your team? Like I've heard Jonathan Osorio, talk about teammates kind of putting their arm around you and helping you kind of deal with some of these difficult moments. Who are those players that you and the other young players at TFC kind of turn to and have really got some value out of their leadership and what they've been kind of telling you?
So obviously, as a young Canadian, you have the Richard Reyes, the Jonathan Osorios to always help you, So they've just been good mentors for me, because they've been around the game. So just helping us younger players has been very good for us. And then obviously you also have the Michael Bradleys, the Josie Altadores that like me, like Jaden, like Ralph, been young professionals like us, so they know the game in and out. So just trying to learn from, pick up pieces from everyone. Some European players come from Europe, so I just think it's good for all of us to learn from each and every single one of them. But especially the Canadian ones and the American ones have helped us a lot.
I mean, these players have been there, done that. They've won. I'm assuming they're a wealth of knowledge, and they're happy to pass that along. Do you feel like you're a sponge, you and the rest of the young players, that you guys all hang out and you like? How does that dynamic work? Because there is this really promising young group of players that are coming through, and an experienced veteran part of the group as well.
Yeah, I think our groups mix well together. The young players kind of have like the newer things, the old players kind of have the olden day things. So when it comes together, we're like, yo, you listen to the new song, they're like, oh, look at our new song. So, it's kind of a fun way too. In the change room, you get a little laugh, but everything's just been good. Like I said, the young players have all, like you said, a little sponge, the older players. So we're just trying to all come together, building the chemistry, and it's just been really good for us younger players this year and last year.
So you're teaching the experienced players as well, right? Like you're benefiting them. You're keeping them
Yeah,
relevant. You're keeping them fresh.
nah, yeah, but they might get mad if I say I'm teaching them. So I'm just putting them. I'm just putting them on some new stuff, and they're putting me
Yeah.
on some old stuff. So we're both helping each other.
You're keeping them connected, Jahkeele. That's what you're
Yes.
doing. Friends
Yeah.
helping friends. I want to congratulate you. Your name was included on The Guardian. It's a widely respected, renowned footballing publication. You were part of their next generation 60 players, young players who are coming through. You're the only Canadian player included. I believe there was 2 American players included as well. Congratulations on that. What's your reaction when you see your name included in such a list of promising young players in the footballing world?
I think for me, seeing things like that just makes me more hungry. Makes me want to work harder, and just it shows me, if I keep working hard, things I can accomplish, and if I keep going, things I could do. So I think, like I said, I don't really try and pay attention to that. It was a proud moment for me being on the list for the top 60 Guardian. But like I said, it just makes me want to keep working harder, and it makes me hungrier for more.
Yeah. Does it put pressure? I know that you say you don't pay attention that much. Your name was also linked to some significant European clubs as well. Last fall, United, City, Bayern Munich, FC Porto. I mean, these are big clubs that you probably grew up watching as well, thrive and succeed in the Champions League. So how do you keep your focus at times like that?
I think, like you said, yeah, maybe it brings a little bit of pressure, but I think as a young footballer, for the heights I want to reach, pressure, I can't let it bring me down or make me nervous or anything. I don't try to focus on those little things, but it's an honor to be on these lists and for these teams to be interested in me. But it can also go bad. I can lose focus. I could get arrogant and I could stop working hard, which I'm gonna make sure is not gonna happen. So I just think for me personally, it makes me want more, and it makes me want to keep working hard, and to have teammates around me to make sure I'm level headed and to make sure I'm grounded and keep going. I'm grateful for everything. So I just think it comes together well, and I just try to take positives from all of these little things and not just say, okay, yeah, I made it. Everything's going well, and that's all I need to do. No, I don't try to have a mindset like that.
It's great to hear. It's a great approach, because obviously it's going to be up to you, how you develop and how you take your career going forward. Are you patient by nature, Jahkeele? Are you a patient guy? Because obviously, whether it's, getting your first start or whatever that next step in your career may be, patience is a virtue at times. Do you think you have that patience in order to see out the process in a way that's going to be the most effective for you?
Yeah, I think, especially being at a club like this, one of the biggest clubs in North America, you obviously have to be patient with our history, like 3 finals in 4 years, the players we bring in. So I just think as a young player, you always have to be patient. And then when you get your chance, try and take it. So I just think it works with everything else. I feel like I'm patient, but not too patient where I'm relaxed. And so I feel like I'm a good patient. I'm pushing, but I'm also patient waiting for my chance. So I think it's good.
So what are those goals? Let's talk short-term goals first in order of what you want to achieve, what you want to have accomplished at Toronto FC, whether it's the remainder of this season or next year, as well as big picture goals as well. Like, what do you aspire to do? What do you aspire to become?
So, this year, I think our goal is definitely to win Canadian Championship. Obviously still try and finish out the season good. We have a big game tomorrow, which everyone's focused on. Our heads are up for that game, but for sure Canadian Championship. And then I started last game just try and keep my spot in the starting lineup or in the 18, just coming on. And then for big future goals, obviously ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to go to Europe, but for now, my head's focused on TFC and, just the end of the season and then also going into next year's regular season, obviously it's a fresh start. So I just think it'll be good for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk Canada because you were part of the Canada camp in January. There's a real buzz around the national team right now, how they're playing, what they're accomplishing. What was it like being at that Canada camp under John Herdman and the rest of the team, where it really seems a proper brotherhood is being created?
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. Like I said, ever since I was a kid, I always dreamt to wear the flag. To get a Canada call up so young, I was so grateful. And John Herdman just came up to me. He said, "You're here for a reason. Like I believe in you." So I just took that with a bit of confidence, and it was amazing. I remember I did a few training sessions in June, and I seen the players like Alfonso, Johnny, and them, and to see where they're at in Europe, it just makes me want to work even harder. And I was comfortable because I had players like Osorio and all of them there with me that I know from here to teach me and to be with me. So it was a very good moment for me.
I saw you in the crowd. I believe it was the win over Panama. You were celebrating with the guys. What was that experience like?
Our country has waited such a long time to make it to a World Cup, and it feels like we're finally coming together and we finally have that real chance. I think we're finally starting to believe that we can be with the Mexicos, the USAs. So it was just a very good moment for me and all my fellow teammates that were on the national team squad. I was happy for Schafferberg and Osorio, Richie, just happy for the whole team because our country is finally coming together. And I feel like we're finally believing that we have a great chance to actually make the World Cup, and our fans are believing in us too. And I feel like the atmosphere was just amazing. So it was very good.
Are you going to go out to Edmonton in November? Too cold for you? Stick in Toronto?
We'll see.
We just have a couple minutes left. I want to ask you about Davies because you being compared to him, maybe not in terms of the way that you play, you're different players to a certain degree, but perhaps the hype around you and the expectations around you are very similar to what we experienced with Davies a few years back. Have you talked to Alfonso about that? Does he discuss with you what that process has been like? What are those conversations like, Jahkeele?
Yeah, I have a few conversations with Alfonso, but we've never talked about the comparisons or anything like that. Like I said, the media side, it's obviously an honor to be compared to such a great player like Alfonso Davies, but I just think it makes me want to work even harder. And while me and him talk, he talks to me about being a young player because he was once in my shoes for Vancouver and then going abroad to Germany and how it is. So we've just been talking about the little things and, just congratulating on his success. He's asking me about TFC, but it's just a little combos, we haven't talked about any of that things because I don't think me being compared to him really matters, So I just think we don't really talk about those things.
Lastly, what's up with Brampton? I can't keep count how many top players are coming out of Brampton. Yourself, Junior, Laren, Oso, Daniil Henry, like the list goes on and on. What's going on there? Like, is it just like a breeding ground for top talent? Are you guys all getting together and trying to take over the world and make Brampton the new capital of Canada? Like, what's happening here?
To be honest with you, I just think Brampton has a good, system. The Brampton East, the Brampton West, the Brampton Blast, the Isles, the Tejans, Osorio, a lot of us grew up there. I was born in like the Campion area. I know Osorio, Junior, they're all in that area. So I don't know. I guess it's just a good culture for soccer around that area, But yeah, like I said, I think it's just the clubs that come from there, the Brampton clubs. When we're younger, I just think a lot of us were in that area and we just went there. But I don't know. There is a lot of pros that are from Brampton, but I can't give you an exact reason why. But I could just give you some ideas. The clubs and the schools around there. They're nice. A lot of us grew up there, so I just guess that's the main reason.
Dude, it is a football factory. It's fun to see. I promised I'd have you out by now. Do you have 2 minutes just to do a couple rapid fires so we can get to know you a little bit more? All right. All right, buddy. Your nickname. What are your friends? What do your teammates call you?
Jack is the main one. A lot of all my teammates call me that. All my friends. Or JMR, Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty, but I just like Jahkeele, but it's all right.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. We won't call you Jack. I was like, if you want to be called Jack, we can call you Jack. Jahkeele?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Who's your favorite player?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Good taste. Are you a United supporter?
Yes.
I knew I liked you. I knew that we would connect. That's my club. That's my guy right there. Who's your best friend in football?
I wouldn't say I have a best friend.
I put you on the spot because I'm putting you on the spot because you just can't pick one.
Yeah, I think I get along with all my teammates, and even outside of our team, I have a lot of friends that are footballers. So I wouldn't say I have a best friend.
Okay. A favorite musician or artist?
Drake.
Drake? Have you talked? Does he have your number? Did you get pictures with Drake yet?
Yes.
All right. Interesting. We'll have to get into that next time. What's your favorite television show, series, or movie? What are you watching?
I'll just name the most recent one. Hey, what is it called again? The one with the red light, green light. Is that what it's called? Which one?
The Squid Game?
Squid Game. Yeah. I don't know how I forgot. But to be honest, I'm not really a movie show guy, but that one was probably the best one that I could, and it's just the most recent one, so I'll give you that one.
My wife just had a baby. I need to get out and see James Bond. This new Bond flick looks amazing. I suggest that for you. Dip into the old James Bond movies. They're decent. Favorite video game?
FIFA.
Yes. Favorite food?
Steak and mashed potatoes.
Right on. And finally, your favorite Toronto FC player of all time, past or present?
I could give you names, but I don't have a favorite one.
Give me a couple. The players that you grew up watching or play with now, you're just like, wow, that's something special.
Yeah. Back then, Earnshaw, I remember I was a little kid. I had season tickets, and every time he would score, he would do a backflip.
Yeah.
So he just stuck with me. Dwayne De Rosario is a good mentor for me still. So he had a good history at TFC. And, just the current ones, Michael Bradley, Josie Altidore, Jonathan Osorio, all club legends. And they just helped me. But I don't have a favorite one. They just all stick with me because they had a part to play in my career. But I like everyone that plays for Toronto FC.
Right on. All great guys. Ernie will love that, by the way. Yeah, he's a great guy, and some real fond memories of him playing here as well. This has been great, Jahkeele. Thank you much. Thank you so much for taking some time. Good luck with the rest of the season. Go on and win that Voyageurs Cup, okay? It could be a special moment to round out the season, and we look forward to seeing you wearing Toronto FC red, Canada red for many years. Cheers, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me. Have a good day.
He is Jahkeele Marshall-Rutty. A lot of excitement around him. What a great guy as well. And we thank him and Toronto FC Media Relations for making some time today. This is being Touchline Talk. I am Gareth Wheeler. We'll do it all again next week right here on TorontoFC.ca.